Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, the Principal Secretary in the Department for Parliamentary Affairs. I had relaxed a bit in my seat seeing how the program went, and you took the stage and I was even more relaxed, and then I heard my name. But I'm glad to be speaking here. Thank you for giving me the chance. Please allow me to say all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matthias. I'm the country director for the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. I should not take a lot of your time, but if I now start by talking about German history, you won't believe me. But I think I can do it in a very, very abbreviated version, because there's a reason why we as a German political foundation do the work we do. And it is very closely linked to what we are discussing today, and it has something to do with historical experience. Those of you who know a bit about the German history know about the Weimar Republic. Maybe you have heard about it. There was a strong, or so people thought at that time, a strong German democratic system before the Nazis came in. The Nazis did not get to power through a coup or by military force. The Nazis came out of that democratic system, and they used that democratic system, weakened it from within, and then took over. So the lesson we learned is that you can never stop pushing for strengthening your democratic structures and institutions and carrying everybody along. The democratic institutions and how they work together really, really matter. So, as a result, after the Second World War, the political foundations were one of the responses to that, to say we need a diversity of stakeholders who work towards strengthening democratic institutions, but also explaining to the people how these institutions work. Fast forward a few years later, around the time when Kenya got independent, and you might remember that the Germans were the first to recognize independence and start engaging diplomatically, and later the idea of development cooperation followed, and we also got a role to play in that. Because as we engage internationally and as we engage in development cooperation, governance is key, because the realization is that in order to promote development, the governance question is at the heart. And then we go back to the Weimar experience. So what can we do to improve governance? It has something to do with the overall architecture of how institutions work together. And it's not just about having institutions in certain silos and then looking at them in an isolated manner, but also make sure that the institutions, the different arms of government and in the public sector work together. And it needs a lot of fine-tuning to do that. So I feel that, and we just talked about it, having the youngest department in the Kenyan governance architecture, that addition is a very crucial element, because it addresses that aspect of coordination, of harmonizing approaches, of bringing the different institutions together to do that kind of fine-tuning in order to promote your national development agenda. So I have to laud the Kenyan government for making this step. I want to congratulate you for the work you have done so far. It's been a pleasure working with you. I am here today representing your development partners. It's been a pleasure working with you. I want to reaffirm our commitment to working with different Kenyan government institutions. If I look at our chief guest, Your Excellency, if you allow me, I think it's the first time I am speaking at an occasion, but I think we've been in the same hall about 4 or 5 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks, because we've had the privilege to work together with you in your different capacities and with the brilliant people that you work with, whether it is in your political party, whether it is in foreign affairs, whether it is in diaspora affairs, and I'm glad to see Ambassador Helen here. We just had a great activity together in Naivasha, and now we find ourselves together again here. And I think it also says something about you and the bond that we share with you as Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, that somehow all roads lead back to you and your leadership when we are engaging with the Kenyan government. So it's a pleasure to be here together. And to my in-law, I wish you all the best for your future work. And let's keep working together. Thank you.